Well, hello. I would love to tell you a little bit about something I've been struggling with because I think you have probably been struggling with it too. It's something called change, right? I mean, it's inevitable, right? Life is really all about change. It's a journey. Things change, nothing stays the same. And, you can fight it or you can flow with it. And when we fight with something that's inevitable, it makes it so much harder, right? Have you ever experienced that where you just were really resistant? You didn't want to accept the news that you heard. You didn't want to accept that someone found another partner, that they were going to move on to a new relationship. You didn't want to accept it. And so what did it do to you? It made you suffer more, right? It felt harder to get through it. But if you were to flow with it, if you were to just accept it for what it is and to try and understand it in a way that it helped you feel more comfortable about it. Maybe it didn't make sense at all. There was really no way to make any sense of it, right? Like a health scare. Maybe you or someone you know in your life had a horrible illness and maybe they even passed away. That's really hard to deal with. I know what that's like. I lost my brother back in 2016 and he was just 50 and he had a heart attack and died, and he was all alone when he died. He wasn't found for a few days, and it was just heart-wrenching just to think about that. And but those are the moments that really make you think about your own life, right? Like things change. We just don't even know how much time we have here on this planet, do we? And things change as you get older, right? I'm in my 50s now, and I've now lived a year longer than my brother. I get to live the life that he didn't get to live. So see how I changed the way I'm thinking about it? I'm going with the flow now. It wasn't like that at first, don't get me wrong. It was hard to accept. It was really hard to accept. It still is. It still is. But I can use that experience and see it from a different angle. And that's what I really want to inspire you to do today in your own life. I'm in my 50s. There's a lot of different things going on. So as a woman to woman here, you know that whether you're at that stage of life where your body is going through some changes, you're getting into the menopausal years, that you know it's coming. You know that change is inevitable. It's going to come if you're blessed to live that long, right? And I sure hope you are. With different seasons in life, there are different things within those seasons that we're dealing with. And, it could be that you're going through this physical change, right? And it's not easy. It's not easy to go through those changes. It's not easy to have health problems or maybe some health concerns, not necessarily problems, but, maybe you find out from the doctor that you have high cholesterol or something's going on and you now need to make some dietary changes or lifestyle changes. And that's not easy. It's not easy to do, right? It's not easy to do at all. If you're a mother, your kids are getting older, they're going to be out on their own one day soon. That's a whole other change. That's what I've been struggling with too. I've been thinking a lot about that lately. Like my role is mom. I'm always going to be a mom. I know my kids are always going to come to me for help, for advice, for support, but they won't always be living in my house. And that makes me feel really sad. And it makes me feel wonder, how will I go on? How will I be able to live the rest of my life without my kids being around, without my kids being home? It's change. It's inevitable, right? But it's uncomfortable. And I can fight it, right? I can fight it, but that wouldn't be good for anybody. If I made hog-tied my kids and made them stay home so they can't move out, my husband would not be happy about that too. He's looking forward to the next time, the time in our life when we are able to just come and go as we please and not have anyone to really take care of. And I get that. So we could fight it, or we could just go with the flow. So you've got those changes in your roles in life that happen, right? Maybe throughout even this last year and a half with COVID, a lot of people have lost their jobs, and they're now thinking about, do I even want to go back to that old job that I had? Do I want to create something new for myself? Do I want to start a business? And that's change, right? That's change. That was not expected. And so we do have these, I think we all have these expectations of what life's going to look like, right? Like I remember when I was a little girl, going to a family reunion with my parents, and it was on my dad's side. And my grandmother was there and all her sisters, and they were all at that time old ladies. At least that's how I remember them. They probably weren't even that old. They're probably like 50. So, but I remember thinking that when I'm their age, that's what life is going to be like. I'll have my siblings, and I only have one sibling, and I don't have any siblings anymore because my brother was my only sibling. But I used to think that like we would have our families come together and our extended families come together, and that's how life would be. We'd be celebrating, we'd be having fun, we'd be eating good food and doing fun things together. And this is just so funny, this memory, because I remember thinking how silly they were, but how much I loved that about them. You know, they had here's an example. They had, there was a swimming pool, and they had a huge watermelon, and they put grease on it, like Crisco or something. And they were like tossing this watermelon back and forth to see who could actually catch it. It was hilarious. And I'll never forget that. But I thought, well, that's what it's going to be like when I'm older. But now as I'm getting older, I realize that might not be what life will be like when I'm older. Lots of things have changed. And you know how it is. You've lost people perhaps in your life that you didn't expect to lose so soon. Maybe you've gone through some loss of your own, some grief. You maybe have some habits that are not very healthy that you've acquired over the years. And those things are difficult to change. And you know you need to, so you can have longer term health. Maybe there's a relationship issue or a marriage issue that you're dealing with, and it's really difficult right now. Job loss, a money issue, a career change. There's just so much, right? And so we can really leave us feeling confused, uncomfortable, and uncertain about the future. And maybe even in some cases, hopeless and powerless. And that's just an awful, awful feeling to have. We want to have some control, right? But we might not even know what that even looks like right now. Whatever you're going through right now, it might feel like you've got this like dark cloud, and you just can't see through it to the other side. You just know you're in the midst of it. And it's confusing and it's hard, and you just can't see what's on the other side of it. And we all know, right, when you look up into the sky on a cloudy day, that the sun is up there, right? It's shining and it's spectacular. Like, have you ever flown in a plane and you're above the clouds and you're like, whoa, it's like pouring rain. I'm from Vancouver, so it's pouring rain down there, but I got sunshine because I'm in a plane. So it's, it's kind of like that. Like it's hard to see that sunshine. It's hard to see the other side, and to see that life where there is more peace, less struggle, and where there's clarity, right? And it can feel really hard to enjoy life right now and because there's this heaviness, right? It's that dark cloud. It's kind of stuck to you. And it's really hard to just let that go and say, I'm going to enjoy my life today, right? I know what it feels like. And I've really been feeling like that a lot lately. Really have been feeling like that a lot lately. And I can tell you, talk to somebody about it. You know, I talked to my husband about it, and it just made me feel so much better. He just listened, right? Us ladies, we like to just have someone there listen. And it makes a big difference for us. You know, it's a time of transformation and change and growth right now. And our life is really like that. We're always changing and growing and in different degrees and at different speeds too, right? But it's usually a slow process. And so as I started thinking about this, and I really wanted to share this with you today, I started thinking about how a caterpillar goes through that metamorphosis, right? And turns into a butterfly. And I know we've often heard that metaphor of that butterfly, the caterpillar changing into a butterfly, and because it's so applicable to so many things in our lives, you know, for the caterpillar, it's a time of change and discomfort, surely, and perhaps even confusion, much like our own human experience. The caterpillar, let's just call her a girl. Let's call it a girl. She thinks she's just a caterpillar, right? She doesn't see the potential of what she could be. She just knows she's a caterpillar. That's how she was made. And she probably thinks that she already knows who she is. Like, this is who I am. And she's just living every day, not worrying about what she will become. All she knows is what she is right now. Kind of like us, right? And she probably thinks that it's impossible to even imagine being transformed into something completely different, right? A caterpillar and a butterfly, they look so different. They're so much different, right? Caterpillar can't fly. Butterfly can, right? They're so different. And so it's really hard to see that what's possible, right? Now, if she could be concerned about all of these things, just like a human, what would she be thinking? Like, if she was really concerned about, you know, changing into something else, like, I really don't know if I can. She'd probably doubt herself, right? She probably, like, you know, maybe just put herself down, not believe in herself. She, you know, she might even question herself and say, like, how could I possibly grow wings? How could I possibly, try and say that a couple times. How could I possibly grow wings? Right? We wonder, how can we possibly grow our wings? Right? How can we possibly fix that relationship? How could we possibly start that business? How could we possibly, you know, change this habit that we have? How could we possibly love ourselves more? How could we possibly just be happy with what we already have? She might even say, how could I fly? I've never done that before. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to fly. I've always been a caterpillar. She might even say, wonder like what her colors would be like, or the patterns on her wings. And she might even wonder, will I look pretty? Or will I look really ugly? Oh, I don't know if I want to change. I don't know if I want to go through this whole metamorphosis thing. I'm not sure that I want to go through it. I'm scared. It's confusing. I just don't want to go. So she would probably fight the inevitable change, right? And that's what we do. Now, caterpillars, I mean, can you really read the mind of a caterpillar? But I guess that they just go with the flow, right? My guess is that they go with the flow. And because that's what they're meant to do, right? And, you know, just because she can't see the future right now, it seems impossible to her, just like it might seem that way to you. So are you going through your own metamorphosis that feels impossible? And just because, I want you to really hear this, just because it feels impossible doesn't mean that it isn't possible. It might just feel impossible. Is impossible even really a feeling, though? right? I mean, it might just feel scary, uncertain, the uncertainty of it. Not sure if you can really make some of the changes that you know you really need to make in your life. Maybe there's some changes just coming and you're just like, I didn't even ask for this, right? There's going to be a lot of that. There's going to be a lot of that. Let's just understand that there is going to be a lot of that and that it's okay. It's okay. Let's not fight it. Let's expect it to come and say, oh, okay, there it is. There's that thing that I had no idea was coming. It'll be so much easier to deal with it. So much easier. You know, you can fight it, but remember, change is inevitable. It will happen. You can't control everything. But what can you control? So let's move into that. Let's move into that and then wrap this up for the day. I hope you appreciate the metaphor of the caterpillar and how it relates to your own life. I love to use metaphors to explain different concepts in well-being. So I believe that whoever or whatever created you didn't put all that effort in to make you an original, a unique and beautiful being, a one of a kind, and then just drop you off on earth and say, well, my work's done. Good luck. You're on your own now. I don't believe that. Now that whoever or whatever that created you, I call it God. And no matter what you believe, there are some things that you can do to make your metamorphosis so much easier. And most of the things that I've learned through my own faith. And so you can interpret them in your own ways. And so I want to share them with you. So number one, you have to have a big vision to pull you through. But no expectations of ever getting exactly what that vision is. You need to detach from it. So here's what I mean by that. You need to have something to be excited about, something that gets you out of bed every morning, that you wake up for every day. And it could be something as simple as I need to get up so I can put that pot of coffee on because I like my coffee in the morning and that's what I'm getting up for, right? It could be I'm getting up for my brother because he can't live life anymore. So I'm going to get up for my brother today. You're getting up for your children. You're going to get up for your children and you're going to create that empire that you've dreamed of creating. You know, whatever it is. I want you to have that big vision. And you have to let go of any fear that you might not get what you want. And just trust that it will be even better than you could have ever planned or that you could ever expect. Because that's how life is, right? Things don't always work out. Our plans don't always work out. And I want you to be very specific about your vision and see yourself in your own vision. But don't get attached to it. Like, don't think that, well, it has to be this way. Because it might come in a different form, right? And if you're not willing to really allow yourself to be open to that, you'll miss it. You'll miss it. Even though you're uncertain of what to do right now, there's some things you're really uncertain about, just continue to take steps with what you already know and allow things to unfold. Don't get caught up in thinking, well, I don't know what to do, and then do nothing. Just do what you know already and just keep taking steps. You know, that path that you're taking, it'll start taking shape. You know, maybe the path doesn't look so straight and it's kind of windy right now. It will start to become straighter eventually, but you have to actually walk the path, right? It's like going on a hike. You know, it's all windy going through the woods and you're like, when am I ever going to get to the summit of this mountain, right? And eventually there it is. It all opens up and it's like, woo, we're here. It's such a wonderful feeling. If you've never hiked up a mountain, I say put that one on your bucket list. It's awesome. So easy for me to say as I live in a mountainous area of Canada. So that is something that you just need to keep in mind, is that you have to just keep going on that path, and eventually things will straighten out and you'll see that. You'll get to that summit. Be patient. Really important. Things happen in the time they're meant to happen, right? So it's hard to be patient, especially if you've been patient for a long time and things are just not changing in the ways that you would like to see them change, or you're just feeling like, I'm just so stuck right now. It's hard to be patient, but remember, you've got to have that vision. That's what's going to really keep you excited and motivated and looking forward to what's coming. Keep your mind focused on what you can do today while keeping your vision in front of you. So don't get real obsessive about the future either. And, if we were supposed to see the future, then we would be able to. We're not supposed to see the future. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to see the future, because that would also mean knowing that there are some really difficult things coming my way, and I'd have a lot of stress and anxiety over those things that I would not want to know. And it'd also ruin all the surprises too, right? If you knew what the future held. So just live each day one at a time, and trust your inner wisdom. Don't waste it. Don't waste your life just waiting for something to come or for your wings to grow. Like the caterpillar is not waiting. She isn't saying, oh, I guess I'll just do nothing, just wait for those wings to grow. She's going through lots of stuff, right? There's lots of things going on. It's a process, and you are supposed to live through the process. Be active in your own process, your own life's journey, and not hide from it. Trust your inner wisdom, which I believe is found in my heart. That's where I hear my Creator speak to me. And you'll know exactly what you need to do. And trust that you'll just figure things out as you go along anyway, right? Now that's called confidence. That's called confidence. It's just knowing that you can handle anything that comes your way and that you will be able to figure things out. That's confidence. So have that confidence. Be connected to your heart. Listen in. Listen to your heart. Be guided from there. Don't always think about what you need to do. Feel what you need to do, if that makes sense. I can actually help you learn how to do that. So, just remember that change is part of our process in life. And let your wings grow. Don't even try to figure it all out. Let yourself be surprised by how incredible those wings will be. If you like this video, please hit like, share it with your friends. If you'd like some help with your own metamorphosis, then send me an email, julia@jewelwellness.com. I would love to help you. I'd love to give you some ideas, some suggestions, and maybe we'll even be working together. That would be awesome. Have yourselves a lovely day.